yet, create some mechanism for indigent patients to receive it. The government can distribute it for free to indigent patients who are in need of this, and it's already too expensive for them anyway. So maybe we could create a mechanism where the government can distribute it, the leftover, already tested, unclaimed amounts
Now, I
to
just
the
want to
indigents.
be sure that after this is tested, it's still safe to consume. There's not solvents or anything in it?
It's a fairly complicated process, so why don't I work up a brief description of what I'm familiar with, run it past the various people that I know that are doing testing, and then bring back some information for the group. I don't know that there is enough to justify creating some sort of process by which we then redistribute what's left over, because there's very little left over.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Thank you. Barb?
I just heard that we've gone back and forth a little on the 2 grams versus amount as necessary, and then my understanding was the same, that it was going to a private lab unless down the road it's going to go to a government lab. So if that's the case where where your auditor can come in and pull an amount that needs to be tested, then I would go back to the idea that that should be a quantified number and not at discretion if that's going to be pulled. And we're going to be told it has to be sent, I would like an amount that it can't reach a threshold that can be taken from the shop.
Yep.
This is more of a question. Where does this leave those of us who are doing testing with a private lab currently, even though they're not licensed?
Well, technically, you can't do it under 1284. Yeah, we're getting there, but
But lab isn't defined, as she points out. So,
but there is a mechanism in 1284 that allows us to license a lab. In any place that the product is, they have to be licensed under 1284. It's probably a discussion we don't want to have.
No opinion, thank you.
so the current labs that are operating are doing so legally. This actually, we should probably figure this out. The current labs are illegal.
Are they licensed?
I guess not. So they better fold up. I mean, let's figure this out here. You're the man, so tell us. Should they fold up?
I think that's something we want to get into.
If I'm a lab, I sure would like to pin that down pretty damn soon. If I'm violating the law.
I'm not sure we want to get into that.
I'm sure he doesn't, but I do.
Well, I'll go there. I'll go there. We're going to be bound by what I'm going to tell you.
Bob, I'm just going to say, I think people have asked for that 35-day ruling, and it clearly was a mistake, I think.
Let's move on here. Betty, if you would, I'm interested in really the kinds of tests, the amount of product they need from each of the tests generally. From an industry perspective, I intend to go to the prime labs to find out the kinds of tests, what they need, so on. To Barb's issue, I absolutely agree we need to put some protections in place, and I'm happy to do that. That's a reasonable thing that needs to be done. So.
Can I also, for this up, just in my concerns, and I think there's definitely merit to where this industry is going on the laboratory perspective. I have some concerns that as we're working here on regulating the operations of the business, that we don't overextend what's going on a scientific research side and mandate how that's going to look, because I think that's going to take some time as part of our industry as these regulations get into place and allow for the operation of all of these different licenses and businesses, that we don't kind of in our first round force how testing is going to look, because we don't have the longevity to really understand this industry in a scientific testing capacity. So I think part of that's going to be allowing it to play out, reviewing these regulations through the next year, 2 years, however that looks, and then more defining the lab and testing side of it, just so that we're not sending this entire industry down one avenue where the math and the background isn't really there to see it. That's just my thought. Thank you.
Well, and just generically, you may see legislation dealing with the issue of research in this next session. So. Okay.
I just want to clarify that none of this is required by anywhere, so why are we all getting so up in arms? Like it says may provide, but it doesn't say must or will or shall. And so, I don't know why anybody is getting so all up in arms, because we may provide something to a lab that does not exist at this time. So I think we're getting way ahead of ourselves, and we should wait 3 months to talk about this again.
All right, I think we're about done with the